Vaheguru, 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 Vaheguru.
वाहिगुरु जी का खालसा, वाहिगुरु जी की फतेह. So you can see the Pankti on the slide, and Maharaj Ji Sache Paatshah Ji's Bani saying that Naam Bij Santokh Suhaga Rakh Garibi Ves. And this is the Pankti and this is the Shabad that this theme has been inspired from. And we're going to just try and look at this, and in which way can we plant this seed, and what is this seed? Where do we get this seed from? And this Shabad is Guru Nanak Dev Ji Paatshah Ji's Bani, and it's in Sorat Rag. Maharaj saying that in Sorat Mahalla Pahila Kar Pahila, that Man Hali Krisani Karani Sarma Pani Tan Khet. Maharaj is talking about how we can make this Man Hali. Hali is the actual farmer, and how we make this mind into the farmer, Man Hali Krisani Karani. And then actual farming, the Karani. Karani is the doing, is how we actually live our lives, what actions that we do in this life. And then Maharaj saying that Sarma Pani Tan Khet, and then that water, to the water of Saram. A Saram can be translated to Sharam, shame. Saram can be translated to humility as well. And it's translated there to modesty. But we're today just going to focus our minds on that, where Maharaj is saying Naam is the seed here. So if we go back to the first Pankti, we're Maharaj saying that Naam Bij Santokh Suhaga. And all we want to look at is, where do we get this Naam from? And if you think about it, that when somebody's farming, it's all about the seed. Obviously, you have to prep the land, and you have to make sure that it gets the right amount of water. You have to have all of these other things in place, but obviously you can't have a plant if there's no seed. So everything revolves around that seed. And Maharaj is saying, you're going to make that seed into Naam. So where do I find the seed of Naam? And Maharaj says that eh bani jo jiyo jane tis antar rave har nama. Maharaj is saying that eh bani jo jiyo jane, which bani? Which words? Bani gai. Guru Sahib Ji saying, which bani do we sing? We sing the bani of the Guru's words. And they're saying those that get to make this deep connection with Guru Sahib Ji's Bani, with Guru's words, eh Bani jo jiyo jane, jiyo with your heart, this antar rave har nama, they are the ones that get to enjoy Akal Purkh and Vaheguru Ji's name deep inside. So only those are able to have that deep connection and have Naam sitting inside of them, God's name sitting inside of them. The ones that have a deep connection with this Bani. But what I want to do is I want to put a little twist into this today. We often speak about having God's name in our heart. We often speak about reciting God's name. We often speak about saying Vaheguru with this tongue and having God's name sat inside of us. In Gurbani, Maharaj is saying that Jot Roop Har Aap Guru Nanak Kahayo. That Gurbani itself, and a lot of people are surprised when they hear words like this said in Gurbani. And somebody within Gurbani is saying about Guru Sahib Ji, speaking about Guru Nanak Dev Ji, and saying that Jot Roop Har Aap Guru Nanak Kahayo, that formless Vaheguru Ji, that light, that Vaheguru Ji, Jot Roop Har Aap, what did Vaheguru Ji call themselves? Guru Nanak Kahayo. Call themselves Guru Nanak Dev Ji. Meaning that Guru Nanak Dev Ji Sache Paatshah Ji is the form of that formless. So that formless took form as Guru Nanak Dev Ji Sache Paatshah Ji for us. So Hari, Akal Purkh and Guru Nanak Dev Ji Sache Paatshah Ji is the same, is one. And that's something that we can look at later on after the presentation of how is that even possible. And a lot of people may have questions and get confused that how is it possible for somebody to actually be that form of Akal Purkh, to be the form of God. And we can look at that through Gurbani as well. But today we're talking about Naam, having this seed of Naam. But whose Naam are we going to talk about today? In Gurbani, there's these amazing words. And in Gurbani, it's saying that Jab lo nahi pagal lar uday, tab lo parmate fritte bahotayo. And basically, this is somebody describing their state. And they're saying that as long as the destiny written upon my forehead was not activated, I wandered around lost, running in all directions. So we want to try now understand this person and try and get into their head a little bit and what this person's feeling. So he's saying that until this destiny that was there on my forehead, but when it wasn't activated, then I was lost, I was wandering around. I'm trying to have a feeling of this person. And then Maharaj says that Kal kor samudar mein boodat the kabhu mit hai nahi re pachtayo. And they're saying that Kal kor samudar mein, that in this time of this dark age, that what was happening to me, they're saying that kor samudar mein, in this ocean of life. And then he goes to describe that main boodat the, that I was drowning in this ocean of life. And in this darkness, in this ignorance. Then he goes to describe that mit hai nahi re pachtayo, that this pachtawa, this regret, this anxiety, all of these feelings, just not being at ease, saying just was not leaving me and was not going. And then continues to describe his own state and saying that tat bichar yeh mathura jag taran ko avatar banayo. And this person's name is Mathura. And Mathura then now is saying that tat bichar yeh mathura. He goes, I came to this understanding, this bichar. And he said, what is this understanding? Jag taran ko, to save this world, jag taran ko avatar banayo. That to save this world, somebody took form. And who is that took form? He's saying that Japayo jin Arjuna Deva Guru fir sankat jon garb na ayo. He's saying that Guru Arjan Dev Ji Sache Paatshah Ji has taken form to do what? To save us. And then he goes on to say that Japayo jin Arjuna Deva Guru, that whoever recites Guru Arjan Dev Ji Sache Paatshah Ji's name, fir sankat jon garb na ayo, will not have to come back into that cycle of reincarnation, of birth and death. Will not have to enter the womb again. This is Gurbani saying this about Guru Arjan Dev Ji Sache Paatshah Ji, somebody called Mathura. So now, this Naam, who did they have the Naam of inside of their heart? This somebody called Mathura, whose name was there reciting deep inside of their heart. Constantly their heart is resounding with the name of Guru Arjan Dev Ji Sache Paatshah Ji. That's the seed that they had. They had the seed, that Naam of seed that they had was of the name of Guru Arjan Dev Ji Paatshah Ji. They had so much faith in Guru Sahib Ji, they saying just by reciting your name, we don't have to come back into the room. Who are these? Are these just normal people just off the street that are saying this about Guru Arjan Dev Ji Paatshah Ji? You know, often we think that somebody very simple-minded, somebody that's uneducated, and they start following Guru Sahib, and will say that, you know, edi shardaya, it's their faith, and, you know, they're gonna say that Guru Arjan Dev Ji Maharaj, yes, that's God. But who are these that are actually saying these words? They describe themselves, what they went through. They say that Raheo Sant ho tol, Saad bahut tere dithe. They said that Raheo Sant ho tol. They said, we were searching. He wasn't on his own. And some say that there was 11 of them, and some say there was 13 of them, but that's not what we want to get into. There was a big group of them. And they said, they're describing that Reheo Santaho told that we're searching for a true saint in our life. And they said that Saad bahut tere ditte, and they were talking to Waheguru. They said, we've seen many of your saints and sages, and we were wandering around and looking for someone. This is sannyasi. We've seen many sannyasis, hermits that had given up their life and renounced the world, given up their families as well. And this is that tapasya, mukho e pandit mithe. They said, but whenever we'd go and meet these so-called religious people, they said what we found, they were very sweet from the outside. Jin man hor, mukh hor se kande kachya. They said, but as we'd look at them a little closer, and these are people that the rest of the world are falling at their feet, and they're meant to be here saving the world. They said, very sweet with their tongue, these pundits and these scholars and everyone else. They says, but what did we find? This is Bars ek ho firyo. They said, as a group, they said it'd been 1 year since we had left our homes and we were searching for this true saint. This is, but whenever we'd come across somebody, they said, what would happen? This is kine noho parcho layo. This says, but no one actually touched us from inside. We didn't meet anyone and think, wow. This is, but instead what was happening, this is kehte suni rehat ko khushi na aayo. They said, instead we heard a lot of people preaching and telling us many things. This says, but when we looked at their living, their lifestyle, they said things just did not match up. They had no wrath, they had no discipline in their life. They were getting up to all sorts themselves as well. So they said we continued. And one day what happened? You know when you've been searching for a year and you're thinking that my life's just a bit of a mess and my inside is just in turmoil. And I just need to be rescued and I need someone to save me. But imagine you've gone around for a year or so, you've been speaking to different people, but nobody's able to satisfy you, nobody's able to soothe you from inside. And then you eventually get a bit fed up and you think, you know what, there isn't anyone. But you know what, these guys were lucky. When they got close to a place called Goindwal Sahib, they bumped into a group of Gursikhs. And these Gursikhs, they were on their way to Goindwal Sahib. Why? Because they had just found out that Guru Arjan Dev Ji Sache Paatshah Ji had been given the Gurgaddi, is now sitting in place of Guru Ramdas Ji Sache Paatshah Ji. That Guru Ramdas Ji Sache Paatshah Ji themselves did matha tek to Guru Arjan Dev Ji and sat them upon the throne of Guru Nanak Dev Ji Sache Paatshah. But there was one more day that had been arranged, and that's called the Dastar Bandi. And a Dastar Bandi is normally done in families that when the father passes away, the eldest child is given a Dastar. It's to say that he'll take care of the finances and everything else and look after the other siblings. So they're thinking now, Baba Buddha Ji, a great Gursikh from Guru Nanak Dev Ji's time, and Bhai Gurdas Ji, the nephew of Guru Amar Das Ji, they both sit together and they decided, you know what, for the Dastar Bandi, we're going to tie a Dastar for Guru Arjan Dev Ji Sache Paatshah Ji as well for being the Guru. And they said, but you know what, Prithi Chand, this jealous brother, we know he's going to cause problems. So they said, what we'll do is, him being the eldest, we'll tie one Dastar on him first, so he won't actually cause any trouble. Because this is what Gursikhs do. They always sit down and work out a plan so that there's not any trouble, so that as less trouble is caused as possible. So they're thinking that Prithi Chand's going to cause some problems now at this occasion, at this do. Because we're going to tie this Gurgaddi Di Dastar and Guru Arjan Dev Ji, but we'll tie on one on him first for being the eldest son. That's going to take responsibility of the house and just normal household duties. And this is, but then we'll put the Dastar on Guru Arjan Dev Ji. So imagine now the people that they've met when they've been going around. A lot of people would have been quite aged and quite old. And a lot of them would have had jatan, they would have had dreads. They've seen all sorts of people. And now they've met a group of Gursikhs, and the Gursikhs get talking to them and they said, where are you guys off to? And they said, you know what? We're giving up. We're gonna go home. And they said, who are you in search for? They said, we wanted to find an enlightened soul that can guide us. And they said, well, we're off to see Guru Arjan Dev Ji Patsha. And they said, why don't you come along with us? And they're praising Guru Sahib Ji because they had heard about Guru Arjan Dev Ji. How Guru Arjan Dev Ji had gone to Lahore, written these beautiful love letters to their father. They're speaking about all of these things. And then they're thinking, this person that they're talking about, who they call a guru, sounds great. And now they start to imagine and have a picture of Guru Arjan Dev Ji. So now they're thinking about someone about 60, 70 years old, an old man, sitting down, with a mala, and maybe some jata as well, some dreads, and thinking, you know what, they're speaking so highly of him, and they've got this vision in their mind, and they're coming. And they've reached now Govindwal Sahib. And they're looking around to find where Guru Arjan Dev Ji Patsha Ji is. And they're like, where is this Guru? And somebody points out towards the direction where Guru Arjan Dev Ji Patsha Ji is. And Guru Arjan Dev Ji, during the time of Gurgaddi, is how old? Come on, Sangat, somebody shout it out. Give me some confidence. How old is Guru Arjan Dev Ji Sache Patsha Ji at that time? Chala haath utte kar lo. Hanji? Guru Arjan Dev Ji, no, not 15. I'm going to keep guessing. 25. Shall we have one more? A random shot in the air. Excellent. Guru Arjan Dev Ji Sache Patsha Ji 18 saal di umar vich, 18 years old. And we often speak about the build of Guru Har Gobind Sahib Ji Sache Patsha. But where did that build come from? When we read it into our itihas, into our history, they say that Guru Arjan Dev Ji was very muscular as well. Very strong. A very long, flowing, beautiful beard. So you can imagine that. 18 years old, very muscular, and somebody says, oh, dekho Guru Arjan Dev Ji, and they're like, him, that kid there. And they said, we've just wasted our time again. They said, and they're thinking, you know what, let's just go. What's this 18-year-old kid going to do for us? And somebody says, hun aaye ha, dastar bandi ta vekh ke jaiyo, just wait. And they've seen many people fighting over the throne. And today, when they go over Baba Buddha Ji, ties the star on Baba Prithi Chand Ji's cease of being the eldest Puttar, Jet Puttar. And then they start walking over to Guru Arjan Dev Ji Patsha Ji. And Prithi Chand's looking and he's thinking, what's going on here now? And he had actually paid people to cause a fuss and to kick off if anything like this goes towards that direction. And then Baba Buddha Ji says, now there's the star, and announced the star for the Gurgaddi, Guru Arjan Dev Ji Patsha Ji. As he goes over, as Baba Ji goes over to tie the star on Guru Arjan Dev Ji Patsha Ji, Prithi Chand runs over in so much rage, and he runs over to snatch off the star from Guru Arjan Dev Ji Patsha Ji's cease. And when they're looking at all of this, beparwah, sada ranga harke, and they say that they're completely beparwah, completely carefree Guru Arjan Dev Ji Sache Patsha Ji, and they have no attachment to think that, well, no, I need to keep hold of this. And without even a thought, they're saying, it's okay, brother, if you want, you can have this, the star. And Guru Arjan Dev Ji Patsha Ji is saying, he's very calm, and he's not fighting for this position at all. When they saw this, they said, inne beparwah, somebody so young with so much energy inside of them, but so carefree. And they said, this is what you call a true Guru. And their heads fall at the feet of Guru Arjan Dev Ji Sache Patsha Ji at this time. These weren't just no normal, ordinary people, these group of people that had been wondering and looking for a Guru. They were very learned of the Vedas. They're very learned people. And then they started to write the praise of all the Guru Sahibans. They wrote the praise in the Bani called Savaiye from Guru Nanak Dev Ji all the way to Guru Arjan Dev Ji. And then they said this about Guru Arjan Dev Ji Pacha. They saying that Bars ek ho firyo kine no parcho layo. This is कहते हैं कहती सुनी रहत को खुशी न आयो. Then they said this is har naam shod duje lage tinke gun ho kya kaho. And then they saying that people have abandoned God's name. But this says that gur deo milayo Pikhya jivtu rakhe tiv raho. This is, but we were so fortunate that somebody has helped us to meet such a guru like Guru Arjan Dev Ji Sache Padshah. And these are people that are saying to recite Guru Arjan Dev Ji Padshah Ji's name. Just having the Guru's name in our heart. And how can we plant this seed of love inside? How can we think of having Guru Sahib Ji's name inside? What will it do for us? What will it bring for us? What's the power of having Guru Sahib Ji's name upon our tongue? How powerful is that? When we look at this, Guru Arjan Dev Ji Pacha is saying that Guru Gur Karman More. They're saying, oh my mind, they just say, they're speaking to the mind and saying, oh my mind, Guru, just say the Guru's name. Say the Guru's name, just say Guru inside. Guru Arjan Dev Ji Pacha Ji constantly, when they were sitting in Lahore, when they separated from their father for 1 year, all that was going on inside of them, what was their heart crying out and saying? Was saying Guru Ramdas Ji, Tan Guru Ramdas Ji, Tan Guru Ramdas Ji, Tan Guru Ramdas Ji. That's the seed. That's the name that they had inside of their heart, and the name of Guru Ramdas Ji was constantly just running through their heart, constantly wanting to see Guru Ramdas Ji Padshah. If we are to plant this seed of Guru Sahib Ji's name inside of our heart, but how will that happen? We'll have to get to know our Guru. Guru Sahib Ji saying, "Eh bani jo jiyo jane, tis antar rave har nama." When we get to form a relationship with this Gurbani and we get to know our Guru through Gurbani. A lot of people, first thing we think is like, let's read the history of our Gurus to get to know our Guru. But we've got our Guru's words to hand. We can get to know our Guru through our Guru's Bani. But those that actually took on Guru Sahib Ji's name upon their tongue and into their hearts, and saying that Guru bina main nahi hor, that I've got nothing else, I've got no one else but Guru Sahib Ji. There's a Gursikh in the time of Guru Ramdas Ji Pacha Ji called Pai Akil. He served all the way through to Guru Arjan Dev Ji Sache Pacha Ji. He was such a great Gursikh, Pai Akil Ji was. And when his daughter, only at the age, very young age, and she hits the age of about 7 or 8 years old. And when a daughter normally would hit that age back then, they'd start thinking and getting worried. I need to think about her future and who I'm going to get her married to. They wouldn't get her married straight away, but they'd start thinking that early on of who to marry her to. So Pai Akil, he says to Brahmins, he says, go and find someone for my daughter to be wedded to. And this great Gursikh, he sends out these Brahmins and they come back and they said, you know what, we found an amazing reshta, we found an amazing match. And Pai Akil said, so you've done the reshta, you've made the match, everything sorted out. Did you make sure that they're from a Gursikh family? Did you make sure that they've got the love of Guru Arjan Dev Ji Pacha Ji Maharaj Ji within their heart? And they said, no. And he says, what have you done? And back in them days, once you've given your word, you never pull out that resta. Pai Akil saying, "Hun ki banunga?" And when he came to find out later on, he found out that they serve somebody called Sakhi Sarwar. They serve some Muslim fakir, some peer. And Pai Akil said, now it's all in the feet of Guru Sahib Ji. Now only they can be my savior. When the time came, Pai Akil marries off his daughter. And on the day of her wedding, Pai Akil goes to his daughter and tells his daughter and said, Putri tiye, I'm really sorry, but the family that you have been wedded into, they don't bow their head in the feet of the Guru. They have no love or affection for Guru Sahib Ji. They have no connection to Guru Sahib Ji, but instead they believe in somebody called Sakhi Sarwar, and that's where they all go down and bow their head to. His daughter cried so much. She says, Pitaji, fir mera ki banunga hon? She said, what's going to happen to me now? She says, I'm not going to bow my head down anywhere else. I'm not going to give myself to anyone else. His father just said, Putri, just do ardas. She's sitting in her dolly. And as she's sitting in her dolly, and she's been taken, she's now going to her Sorakar. And she hears something. What can she hear? She can hear Kirtan. And in that Kirtan, she can hear that Balhari Guru apne Diohari Sadwar, Jin Manas te Devte kiye Kartana laki far. She's thinking, this is Guru's Bani. And she's saying, stop, stop. I need to go and see where this Bani is coming from. Tani Siri Guru Har Gobind Sahib Ji Paatshah Ji Sama had come. It was a time of Guru Har Gobind Sahib Ji Sache Paatshah Ji. And she runs out of this dolly, of this palanquin that she's sat in. And she tells her husband, she says, I'll be back, wait. And she goes and she sees and she does darshan of Guru Har Gobind Sahib Ji Paatshah Ji, and she puts her head in the feet of Guru Har Gobind Sahib Ji Paatshah Ji. And she cried so much, and she said, Guru Sahib Ji, my fathers wedded me into a house where they believe in somebody else, in Sakhi Sarwar. She says, what will I do? What will become of me, Guru Sahib Ji? She said, I can't bear to think of anyone else other than you. Only you sit in my heart. And Guru Sahib Ji gets happy to see her Shraddha, to see her faith, to see her devotion. And they said, Beti, don't worry, this is fikr na kar. This is, go and get your husband. She goes to get her husband. And he said, no, I can't go to somebody else. He said, I'll make the Peer upset. Even though he wasn't alive anymore. He said, I'll upset. And she said, just come once. She said, I won't ask you again. Very reluctantly he comes to Guru Har Gobind Sahib Ji Sache Paatshah Ji. But like Bhai Gurdas Ji say, that darshan dekhte hi, Sudh ki na sudh rahi, buddh ki na buddh rahi, mat mein na mat hai. He starts to lose all consciousness. All his intellect that was thinking, I can't do this, I can't go there, everything goes silent and he falls into the feet of, he was trying to stop himself, but his body just could not help but fall towards Guru Har Gobind Sahib Ji Paatshah Ji. And he said to Guru Sahib Ji, he says, Guru Sahib Ji, he says, bless me with Sikhi. And Guru Sahib Ji said that you'll be a great Gursikh, but within your house, a great Gursikh will be born. A great Gursikh will be born in your house. And years later, a child was born in their house. And the first thing that this father did, whose name is Bhai Sadhu, he takes this child into the feet, into the charan of Guru Har Gobind Sahib Ji Paatshah Ji. Guru Har Gobind Sahib Ji Paatshah Ji looks at this child, and Guru Sahib Ji smile, and they name this child themselves, and Guru Sahib Ji says, "Kende isda naam kende main Roop Chand rakhya." Guru Sahib Ji then names this child, and they name this child Roop Chand. And Guru Sahib Ji said, he'll be a great Gursikh. A great Gursikh. Bhai Sadhu takes Bhai Roop Chand back home, and Guru Sahib Ji says, "Inu pyar na si Rupa saddange." They called him Rupa, and love Guru Sahib Ji did. But those that take this seed, and take the Guru's name in their heart, and is crying out to their Guru, what can that bring us? What will having the Guru's name in our heart bring in our lives? He grows up and he starts to help his father out in work. So basically, Bhai Sadhu was a carpenter. And back in them days, he'd go into the raw jungles to cut down trees to get wood. Jeth da Mahina. It's the Mahina of Jeth. So around about June time, it's so hot. And Bhai Sadhu and Bhai Roop Chand, they're both father and son, they get ready to go out today as well. And they said, this is At di garmi a, this is othe apa lakda kattde kende apa na pyas badi lagni a. This is aj apa pani na le liye. They said, let's take some water with us. And they get this mashk made out of material, this flask, and it's covered with material which helps to keep water cool in there. So what they do is they put this cool water in there, and modde te o mashk ban li, and they put that flask on their shoulder, and the other shoulder they've got their axe. Father and son both go deep into the jungle to cut down some trees. Kaam shuru kita karna pe putne. They're both out and they're cutting down and they're chopping away at trees. Sweat's pouring down. It's probably 40 degrees plus. And they're thinking, Pita de man vich ya. And that flask, what they did with that flask, so they'd found some shade and they tied it on a branch of a tree. And the father's constant, he's got his mind in that water, that when it gets too hot and we get really thirsty, and then we can go and have that cool water. But prashada shakke aaya. They've eaten prashada, they've had a roti before they came out, so they're going to get even more thirsty. But as they go towards this flask, Bhai Roop Chand, who's got Sikhi deep in his heart, who's grown up every 6 months, his father would take him to see Guru Har Gobind Sahib Ji Padshah Ji. He's grown up now. And he said, Father, said to his Bhai Sadhu, he said, this pani, his hath laya, his hath thanda hunda. He says, Atdi garmi, he goes, it's so cool, this water, Father, it's even cooler than when we first put this water into this flask. He goes, this pani is so cool. He goes, wouldn't it be amazing if Guru Har Gobind Sahib Ji Sache Padshah Ji, he goes, wouldn't it be amazing? He goes, Padshah, we just did their darshan at Vaisakhi, during Vaisakhi, in a place called Droli. But Droli is now about 30 miles away from where this jungle is. But by Roop Chand, his mind is saying, Father, it'd be amazing if Guru Sahib Ji was to have this water first, because it's so cool. I've never felt water so cool before in such heat. And his father said, Putra, he says, Guru Sahib Ji nu tu keve bulaunga hun? He says, how are you meant to go and call Guru Sahib Ji now? And he said, from my heart. He said, if we do ardas, that Guru Har Gobind Sahib Ji Padshah Ji, that will only drink this water if you were to come and drink this first, then Guru Sahib Ji will drink this water. And his father is reluctant. And he's thinking, Theek ya beta. He says, okay. He goes, this water is very cool. He goes, let's do ardas. They did ardas. They said, Satguru Ji Padshah Ji, he said, give us darshan, give us your vision, and come and drink this beautiful, cool water. And they carry on with their work. As they carry on with their work, Bhai Sadhu, he glimpses over and he keeps looking at his son. And he's seeing that his son's getting tired. He's seeing that his son's mouth becoming dry. His lips are drying out. There's sweat dripping from him. And Bhai Sadhu thinks, you know what? How's Guru Sahib meant to come here? Like, just out of nowhere. We've not called him. He starts to walk over that flask and he thinks, I'm going to give my son some water. He goes and he puts his hand on that flask, and then inside something talks to him again and says, no, your son's done ardas. And he said, you know what? We'll wait. They continued to work, but they got to such a state where they couldn't stand anymore. But Bhai Roop Chand's Hirda is saying what? Whose name has he got in his heart? He's only got one name, and that's Dhan Sri Guru Har Gobind Sahib Ji. They both collapse and they both fall to the ground. They lie down and their mouths have completely dried out. They've got no energy anymore. They cannot stand up anymore. And Guru Har Gobind Sahib Ji, in the house that they are staying in Droli, Guru Har Gobind Sahib Ji Padshah Ji sitting on a beautiful bed. Paisa Pai Kavi Santokh Singh beautifully described that room, and they say that room that Maharaj is staying in, they said, is fragrance with roses. They said the walls, they said they've taken that juice and extracted that fragrance from roses, from the flowers, and they've then immersed it within the walls of that room. So when you walk into that room, it's beautiful fragrance. Just this description that Kavi Santokh Singh gives of where Guru Sahib Ji would stay, he'd make you get a sense of how that room would have been. Guru Sahib Ji sitting calmly on that mattress. On the other side, this father and son, now their mouths are completely sticking together with, they're so thirsty, they've got no energy left. And Guru Sahib Ji here, they get off their bed and they said to the Sikho, quick, get my horse. They go and get Guru Sahib Ji's horse. Guru Sahib Ji kehde, kathi lao ghode te sheti. This is go and quickly put a saddle on the horse. Guru Sahib Ji, they jump on that ghoda. Normally they would go with an entourage, they'd have a complete full army with them. Bhai Bidhi Chand still looking around to saying, what's happened to Guru Sahib? Where's my horse? Let me go and get ready as well. But Guru Sahib Ji get on their horse before anybody could even look around and follow Guru Sahib Ji. Guru Sahib Ji is now riding their horse towards that direction of where those father and son are lying down. Bhai Bidhi Chand thinking, kithe chal gaye Padshah? Where's Guru Sahib Ji gone? Pandey Khan comes as well, said maybe Guru Sahib Ji's sent some trouble and we need to take our army as well. They said let's get ready as well to find and follow where Guru Sahib Ji's gone. Guru Sahib Ji's now, they reached those jungles and they're on their horse and they're looking around. And you know what? Somebody beautifully wrote, they said that Guru Nanak aise vede hai. It says Guru Nanak is in this court. And they're saying that Guru Nanak isn't far. It says Guru Nanak aitho dur nahi, because Guru Nanak aise vede ya. You know when your loved one is close, someone that you got so much praying for, so much love for, you can almost sense when they're getting closer. And you know what Bhai Sadhu Ji did? Suddenly he lifts his head up off the ground and he starts to look around. And he's looking around and saying, Guru Sahib Ji, is Guru Sahib Ji here? And then he thinks, no, how is Guru Sahib meant to even know? How is Guru Sahib meant to come here? Puts his head back down, closes his eyes. Guru Sahib Ji take their horse and stand their horse right over this father and son of Bhai Rupa and Bhai Sadhu. And Guru Sahib Ji say, this is inni pyas lagi hai, jeth da mahina ya. देखो इत्थे है जंगला विच किते पानी पीण वास्ते. Guru Sahib Ji speaking and Guru Sahib Ji saying, it's so hot. Jeth da mahina. They said, is there anywhere for me to drink water in this jungle? And they're thinking, is somebody speaking? Imagine you're half unconscious. You're trying to wake up but you can't. You've got no energy. And somebody's speaking. You're thinking, am I dreaming? Is somebody actually speaking? And they start to open their eyes. And they see that Guru Sahib Ji is there. They bring some energy into their bodies and they do matha tek. And they're standing before Guru Sahib Ji with their hands together. And they said, Guru Sahib Ji, you've really come? Guru Sahib Ji said, I'm thirsty. Why are you guys standing there? Bring me some water. And they just couldn't believe Guru Sahib's there. They've fallen to their knees and they've got their hands together and says, Guru Sahib says, "Mainu pyas rakhi hai, mainu pani pilao." Guru Sahib is saying, I'm thirsty, go and get me some pani. And they went over and they say that they took off some of the clothes that they were on their bodies. And remember, this isn't, today we have beautiful vishais for Maharaj, but there was another side as well to Maharaj. There was that side when Maharaj sat in Sri Harmandir Sahib and there would be not even a little crease on the bastar on where they would be sat upon their vishai. Everything would be fragrant so beautifully, nothing would be out of place. But then there was that side of Guru Sahib Ji when Guru Sahib Ji is going out in jungles to see their Gursikhs and their clothes upon the body of their Gursikhs is what is used to sit Guru Sahib Ji on. They take off their kapde. Pai Kavi Santokh Singh writes this. I'm not just making this story up to glorify it. It's actually what's written. They take off their kapde from their body and they place it down for Maharaji to sit in this jungle. And this is then what they do. They're thinking that we want a special cup for Maharaj to drink from. What do they make a cup from? They make a cup from these leaves. They get leaves together and they make this beautiful cup and they go over to that mosque, to that flask, and they start pouring this water in this bowl that they've made, into this cup that they've made for Guru Sahib Ji, there and then. And when Guru Sahib Ji starts to drink that pani, Guru Sahib Ji saying, wow, Wow, they said, "Eho jiha nahi pani kadi pita." They go, "Eho jiha pani kisi ne pilaya hi nahi." Guru Sahib Ji saying, as they're drinking it, Guru Sahib Ji saying things like this. Said, "I've never drank water like this before." Guru Sahib Ji says, "Never before has ever anybody given me water like this before. Never has anybody called me to drink water like this before." And Guru Sahib Ji is saying all these things, giving all these boons to these Gursikhs. And on the other side, Bhai Bidhi Chand is on his horse, looking for where the horse of Guru Sahib Ji have left footprints. It's not like nowadays, you can check on your phone, let's find Guru Sahib Ji where they are. My wife does that. She always checks on me to check where I am. And then they were following the footprints of Guru Sahib Ji's Ghoda, of their horse. And by Bidhi Chand Ji, they reached that place as well. This is Guru Sahib Ji, where did you go? And Guru Sahib Ji says, "Prem di khech pe gayi si." They said, "I was pulled by the love of these two, of this father and son." Guru Sahib Ji ne aap pani pee ke fir ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਪਾਣੀ ਪਿਲਾਇਆ. Then Guru Sahib Ji gives them the water to drink. As they drink the water, they've re-energized. And Guru Sahib Ji is walking, and they look at Bhai Roop Chand. They're looking at Bhai Rupa. And Guru Sahib Ji starts to take off some of their shastra. Some of the weapons that Guru Sahib Ji is wearing upon their body, they start to take some of them off. And they said to Bhai Rupa, "This is Allah." And they put it in the hands of Bhai Rupa. And then Guru Sahib Ji take off some of their outer bastar as well. Some of the kamar ka sawat Guru Sahib Ji is wearing on top of their robes. Guru Sahib Ji start taking off some of their own clothes, and they place it in the hand, and they says, "Rupa, it tere waste, this is for you." And boy, Rupa Ji is walking, and Guru Ji stops. Why? Why is Guru Ji stopped? And by Rupa Ji, he takes the kapde that Guru Sahib Ji and takes the shastra, wraps the shastra in the kapde and puts it on his head. He's put it on his head and he continues to walk. Guru Sahib Ji is walking. And Guru Sahib Ji says, "Agi, what's this?" Guru Sahib Ji says, "Kende Roop Chand Puttar." He says, "Beta, my child, my son." They said, "Put these clothes on your body. I want to see you wear this shastra." And he says, "Maharaj, no way could I do that." He says, "Me? I'm not worthy of your clothes. Your clothes belong at the highest place." It says, "I could never do that to your clothes and put them on this dirty body and wear your beautiful immaculate shastra on this body." And Guru Sahib Ji again laughed at his innocence. And that's why Bhagat Kabir Ji said, "This is Pole Pai Mile Raghuraya." This is those that have got innocent hearts. That's how you get to meet Akal Purkh. That's how you get to meet God. And that's what Bhagat Freed Ji said as well. Bhagat Freed Ji says, "Je jana so nandada, ta thoda maan kari." They said, if I knew that God, Bhagat Freed Ji saying, is like this innocent child, he said, I never would have grown up. He said, I would have remained like that little child I was. He says, now I've built up all this pride inside of me. And he says, I have to go back to that again. He said, this 60, 70 years have passed. Bhagat Freed Ji saying, all I had to do was remain like when I was that innocent child. Now I have to go back to that. Bhai Roop Chand has got those very qualities. And they said Guru Sahib Ji went and found a place themselves, and they sit this father and son down, and Guru Sahib Ji said, now no longer do you need to continue with the work that you was doing. You don't have to continue with your carpentry anymore. This is hon tusi langar chalaune ya. This is from now, this is you're going to start making langar, and Sangat will come to you and you will feed them with so much prem and with so much love. And that's exactly what they did. And their Santan and the family that came in their house as well, they all served nehkami hoke, without any worldly desire. And that's the power. If we can have that seed of Guru's name inside our heart, and Guru comes. And just like Guru Sahib Ji got on their horse and reached that jungle, Guru Sahib Ji will come to us as well. if constantly we've got nothing else but Guru Arjan Dev Ji in our heart, if we've got nothing but Guru Har Gobind Sahib Ji Pacha Ji in our hearts, and then Guru Sahib Ji will be Ang Sang. Guru Sahib Ji will be with us and beside us at all times. So Guru Sahib Ji, may they bless us to have that. And if we just finish off and just looking at this, Pangti where Maharaj is saying that I tried to look for a picture of this father and son, but I wasn't able to really find anything. It's the only painting I was able to actually find. And that's why it's so important for us to have these that can help us bring that picture into our minds. Having itihasik paintings like this within our homes as well, constantly reminding us of Sakhiyan, and having shabads up in our house that have got Sakhiyan related to them. It's like the Sakhi of Bhai Hema Ji. He sat in this broken down hut in this little shack, and he would cry out to have darshan of Guru Arjan Dev Ji Sache Paatshah Ji. And the shabads that describe that Sakhi, having these shabads up in our house will bring that Sakhi forward as well. The shabad, there was a Gursik ko Bhai Hema. Again, he lived in a jungle, this broken down shack. And he would constantly think that, when will I get to see Guru Arjan Dev Ji Paatshah Ji? I have no offerings to take to them, for them. My clothes are dirty and ripped. How could I go into such a beautiful court of a king of Guru like Guru Arjan Dev Ji? But instead, what does Guru Arjan Dev Ji Paatshah Ji do? They come and they sit in those very jungles Guru Arjan Dev Ji Paatshah Ji did. And they're sitting in this jungle as the evening is approaching and it's getting dark, it's raining, but Guru Arjan Dev Ji remains sitting in this jungle. They've got 5 Gursikhs with them, and they're saying, Maharaj, it's raining. Shouldn't we leave? And Guru Arjan Dev Ji Paatshah Ji is saying, just sit here and just say Guru Guru and jap God's name. And this Bhai Hema, he was coming back, bringing some wood back to go back to his house that is this broken down shack. And he's thinking that who's come at this time in this random jungle where I live? Because he could hear somebody speak, but he couldn't make out who's sitting there. Just the power of having the Guru's name in your heart. And he calls out and he said, Kaun hai ithe betha? He could hear somebody speaking, Guru Sahib Ji speaking to the Gursikhs. Guru Arjan Dev Ji Paatshah Ji replied and he said, Hemya, this is Jennu tu pukarda, tu odi awaaz nahi pachani. He said, who you sit down and cry out to, you didn't recognize his voice? Guru Sahib Ji sat in his shack, broken down shack. He thought nothing of himself, and Guru Sahib Ji did kirtan. And that shabd that Guru Sahib Ji sang was Basta tuti chumpdi, cheer sab sheena. Jaat na patna adro udyan par minna. Mittar na it. Mittar na it tan roop heen kich saakh na sinna. Raja sagli srishtaka har naam man pinna. Tiski tood man udre prabh hoye so prasanna. And that was the shabad that Guru Sahib Ji sang, sat in his hut. And those words are piercing to the heart. Guru Sahib Ji saying, yeah, okay, the world sees you to have a broken down house, ripped clothes. They said, but all I see when I see you, Guru Sahib Ji saying this to Hema, is saying, you to me are the king of the world. Because your inside is drenched. And this is, if somebody was to get your dust, they'll be saved. So the purpose of this, I know I took kind of a bit of a twist from how we would normally look at having that Naam of that seed of Naam and planting that seed of Naam inside of us. But when we look into Gurbani, that Gurbani is saying that those Gursikhs that had darshan of Guru Sahib Ji with their akkhan pratak, they used to take Guru Sahib Ji's name in their heart. They're saying that Guru Sahib Ji's name will eliminate us from that cycle. That's how powerful it is. And the more and more that we read Itihas and hear these loved Filsakiyan, the more and more Guru Sahib Ji's name will start going inside of us. The more we'll be just saying Guru Tan Sri Guru Angad Dev Ji. The more we hear about how Guru Bhai Lehna Ji served Guru Nanak Dev Ji, the more Bhai Lehna Ji will start to go inside of us. The more we'll start crying out to say that Bhai Lehna Ji, you're so blessed. Tan Sri Guru Angad Dev Ji. Tan Sri Guru Angad Dev Ji. And you know how sometimes we'll take a mala and we'll do Mool Mantar, but an amazing experience is take a mala and do one mala of just saying Guru Nanak Dev Ji's name. Do one mala of just saying Guru Angad Dev Ji Paatshah Ji's name. Guru Amar Das Ji Paatshah Ji's name. And as you're going through and you're jumping the naam of your gurus, that you'll see the pictures, you'll see the sakhiyan and the stories of Guru Sahib Ji will start to come before our eyes. So, may Satguru Ji Sache Paatshah Ji Kirpa. And that actually is the end of the presentation. And I did have a slide going into that, what is Santokh Suhaga, Rakh Garibi Ves. Maybe we can just very quickly just look at what does Guru Sahib Ji mean by Santokh Suhaga. Suhaga was a tool that was used to prepare to when the seeds were planted on the soil, and then this Suhaga, this plow, was used to turn the soil so that the seed then goes deeper into that ground. Guru Sahib is saying, take the Suhaga of contentment. What does that mean? So we've got Guru Sahib's name in our heart. How is Guru Sahib's name going to really stay in our heart? The saying, if you keep contentment, meaning that your relationship with Guru Sahib Ji is not condition based. It's not based on if you do this for me. That if I get this, then Guru Sahib Ji, I'll believe in you. Then I'll come to see you more. Then I'll read your Bani more. That Santokh Suhaga means that main Trishna to pare hoke, that I don't let those crows of desires take away that seed. Because we could have that seed of Naam, but that Naam will be taken away and robbed from us when our mind is full of these worldly desires. That's why Bhagat Farid Ji says that Aaj milavan Sheikh Farid Taakim kunjadiyan manhum chindariyan. They said that these taakim kunjadiyan, that kunjadiyan meaning these crows, don't let the crows of desires eat away at the good that you are doing. Because that's what happens when we've got these worldly desires, and then Guru Sahib Ji saying that Naam will be taken away from you. But keeping Santokh and saying, Guru Sahib Ji, I want only but you. Bhai Roop Chand did not waver, dige na dole, dirad kar rahe ho, puran hoye tripatani. He remained firm. He did not think that, you know what, I might actually die. I might end up dying if I don't drink this water now. But he's willing to die. But he wanted to see his Guru. So, so what we're saying here is that Naam Bij, that we've got. So we've got the seed, and where we've got Naam when we're actually making an effort to do something, when we're actually reading Gurbani, listening to Kirtan. So this is that seed of Naam. But if we don't jap that Naam in contentment, which means is that if we've got many other things within our mind, like Guru Bhagat Kabir Ji's Bani, it says, Jaha lob teh kaal hai. Where there's greed for something else, there's a want for what I'm doing. So I might be listening to Gurbani, I might be doing all of these things, but within there's a desire hidden that make sure that I have, I can find a partner and make sure he's good looking and all of that, sona sanakha hove, gora rang chitta hove, mera pama kala ya. So it's all of that kind of stuff in it. And so these are Maharaj is saying this, so these all these inside these trishnas, these desires, And it says that then what happens is that name, that what we're doing, we're actually using it up. It's like spending money. So it's like we can either keep saving, or when we go out and then we're going to buy something and we spend that money. So that when they use that plow and then that seed goes deep inside, it's keeping it safe and making sure that the roots are going to be deep. And that's what Guru Sahib Ji is saying. You do all of these things in contentment, meaning that just having faith and say, Guru Sahib Ji, that all I want in return is you. Imagine getting the Guru, but anything else we would ask for would be so much smaller. And that's what happened to the two Kirtaniya, Pai Sattam Balwant. They could have just said to Guru Arjan Dev Ji that, Maharaj, like, as long as we've got you, as long as you come to the carriage, to whether it was their daughter or sister that they wanted to marry off, they would have had everything. Imagine having the owner of the treasure house just riding with you, with the one that's got the key, but then you just say, no, I just want that one thing from the treasure house. So what happens is, Kabir ji saying, Kabir, jaha lobh ta kaal hai, where there's greed, there's going to be the death of even the good we're doing. It'll get used up. Everything comes back down to our intention of where we're doing something from. So what we're doing by doing Sangat is trying to purify the intention that we're doing something in. And once that intention starts to become pure, and it'll be a completely different experience and result, what comes from that. It's like sometimes we might have an ardas and we'll say like, Guru Sahib Ji, I've got maybe a health issue, make that better. We do a specific ardas and say, make that better. And then that happens. You get better from that one thing, but then something else happens. And then you've got a different health issue. And then you're in that cycle of just, okay, now this. But what we're really looking for is to say that, Guru Sahib Ji, that what I really want is just to have you deep inside of my heart. Then that means no matter what comes in my way, that I've got then Jaran Shakti, that I've actually then got the strength to be able to deal with and tolerate if I've got you beside me. So if we look at Guru Gobind Singh Ji's life from the outside, if we look at their life, it seems as if everything's going wrong. But Guru Sahib Ji is still in Chardi Kala. So that's what Guru Sahib Ji wants to give us, is the state of mind that they had, and is that Chardi Kala. For a normal worldly person, it might seem when they studied Guru Sahib, if they study Guru Sahib Ji's life, they're like, whoa, you know, they lost out this, they lost out that. It's like, I thought this religion stuff's meant to like kind of put everything in place and make sure everything goes well, never lose my job, everything just flows. And then how comes then the Guru's life, he's within itself is a mess? Because then Guru Sahib Ji is showing us that actually what this path will give you is Jaran Shakti, is to be able to deal with these things and still remain in this forever rising spirit. This has been looked at in many different ways. And when Maharaj here talking about is that Rakh Garibi Ves, that we've got to then think of different ways of protecting that seed. And one of the ways we can protect that seed is with Sangat. And having Sangat is what will really help us keep the good that we're doing, keep it intact. Like Maharaj says that Sangat ka gun bahut adkai, par sua ganak udare. Maharaj is saying that Sangat ka gun, the effect of Sangat is very deep. And we don't realize this, that Sangat is also things that we read. Sangat is also things that we're looking at. And a lot of the time now, social media, for example, becomes our Sangat. So when we're on social media, on things like Facebook, we end up reading a lot of things that we may not normally choose to read ourselves, to pick up ourselves. So that Sangat that when we end up doing when we're not even realized that we're doing. And Maharaj says that it has a huge effect on you. Every little thing that you allow to pass through these ears, every little thing that you allow to pass through these eyes. So to keep it protected, one of the main things is to be very conscious about what we're allowing to go into these senses and the sangat that we're holding. Because these are the things that will slowly start to destroy us. Because at the same time we're thinking that, how comes I'm not feeling at peace? Because sometimes we've just spent 2 hours reading, say, comments on a post where people are just outright slandering each other. And Maharaji's revealed so much to us in Gurbani, and then sometimes we don't feel at ease sometimes. You know, sometimes we'll just say, Pata nahi aaj chain nahi hondi, man, like it's really just kind of like going round and round. I don't feel at ease today. But Maharaj is saying that first thing I did in my life was, they said, Prathame shod parai ninda. They said, I let go of slandering, and this is what was the result of that. They said, Prathame shod parai ninda, utar gayi meri man ki chinda. And they said that like the anxieties of my mind started to leave me. So we don't realize the effect that these things have on us. So it's just choosing your sangat very, very consciously and doing ardas to Maharaj that you're blessed with sat sangat and the right people around your life to keep that seed, all these seeds that we are planting of doing things like this that we're doing now, being in the darbar, everything else, to keep that protected. Theek hai? We done? Okay. So, pulla chuka maaf, sure have made many mistakes. So please forgive me. So everyone put their hands together and say Guru Sahib Ji's blessed Fateh. Vaheguru Ji ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji ki Fateh.